once we get all of our sugars here and we've rinsed them thoroughly, we transfer them over here into the kettle. Making beer involves boiling, it involves using hops as an antibacterial agent, and it also requires fermentation, which further helps to ensure that no living pathogens can survive in beer. This is typically where a lot of hops are added, so the earlier in the process we add hops, the more bitterness we perceive from them. The later in the process we add hops, the more flavor and aroma we get from them. So depending on what kind of beer you're trying to make is going to determine how much and when you add hops. This is why beer is so much more important than water ever was.
Fair enough.
So basically everything that we did in the brew house is to make sugar water, to make appropriate sugar water for the kind of beer we're trying to make. The yeast, we know through centuries of domestication, perform in a certain way. So this tank is exclusively designed for the fermentation and the yeast gathering from beer. So what the yeast does is take all of those sugars that we produced and turn them into alcohol, CO2, and then natural byproducts that vary depending on the strain of yeast.
This is where the science comes into play, right?
It does. There is a lot of science at work. It's time to pick your poison.
All right, cheers, man.
Cheers. Oh, you didn't say chomp one chomp.
Yum. Well, I needed that. We're looking forward to that the whole day.
Wow, that does feel good.
And finally, the last step is packaging and sending these mouth-watering batches off to restaurants near and far.
All right, so as you can see, my face is all red like fireworks right now. I guess you can't say that you've been to a beer factory until your face goes this red. You want to have the same fun and experience that I did? Well, don't be shy, come down to Ho Chi Minh City and visit PSBC